Chris, more has been put on Brian's plate volume-wise last couple of weeks. How's he really responded to that, just his confidence?
He's done a great job. He can handle a lot. That was one of the things we've been most impressed with him early on. You'd never see it to the naked eye, but we change personnel so much. There's times he plays Z, times he plays X, and he's able to do that really well. And it's great communication throughout the receiving core, the way we sub, things like that. And then just the mental aptitude to be able to handle a lot of that as a young player. And we've tried to be intentional about kind of taking it slow with him and, give him a lot of things, but still things that we think he does really well. And then we'll continue to expand that as he shows, the ability to do even more.
He kind of turns into a different guy when he's on the field. Whether it's the first down celebration that he gets flagged for, and then he's like, you can see the wheels turning as he picks up big plays and he's trying to figure out what to do. To see him come out of his shell and kind of use that as fuel for him, how's that as a coach?
It's awesome. I mean, he's a competitor. That was one of the things you saw from the jump of, he's not celebrating and stuff like that in practice, but you see a different attitude, different competitiveness show up in those situations, which is what you always hoped, which is what you'd heard in the past and things like that. It makes it fun. You make a good play, you deserve to celebrate. So things like that within the rules. Obviously, we don't want to get a penalty that sets us back some yards, but I think it's fun to see guys compete and enjoy competing.
Doug talked about this week Trevor Lawrence and compared him to Scotty Scheffler at the President's Cup. Adrenaline gets going. Sometimes you see those deep passes that maybe sail a little bit. How do you, deal with that? Do you just dial up another one and say, okay, we're going to take another shot so you can kind of know, because you know you can make that throw.
Right, absolutely.
How do you deal with that?
We don't lose confidence in Trevor for missing a throw. It's going to happen here and there, and obviously some of the ones that we've missed the other day were potential big plays. But that doesn't deter us from anything. He has never shown anything to lack the confidence to let anything like that affect him to where if you saw that, I think if he came off and you saw the wide eyes or you saw something or he said something that made you nervous, then it's all right, we got to get this guy some layups. We got to get him back in the groove. We've never once felt that from Trevor. So as long as we continue to see confidence from himself, this team, this offense, this coaching, we have ultimate confidence in Trevor to deliver every single time we ask him to. Is he going to? No. It's rare that people do every single time, but we're continuing to work for that consistency as an offensive unit, and we expect that from him as well. But there's no lack of confidence. We'll continue to give him the ball in critical situations.
During the pre-draft process, how much interaction did you have with Brian Thomas?
With Brian?
Yeah.
We had a formal with him, so a formal at the combine, that 15-minute speed dating thing. We had a top 30 with him here. So we got to spend a lot of time. The top 30 here is where you really get to sit down, get a feel for them, talk to them, spend a day with them. They're still obviously out of their element. They're in a business interview. So that's tough, but we had a good feel for a lot. We knew a lot of people at LSU that had worked with him throughout the course of his career there that had great things to say about him. And obviously that's important to you, especially if you're going to invest a first-round pick on a guy. You want to know the ins and outs of the character, the work ethic, the competitiveness, all that. And so all that came back great. We had a great feel for him here. And he's been nothing but impressive as we've gotten here.
Did they warn you that he won't say anything? Did you know that going in?
That was a little bit of a deal. Yeah, he's to himself and he's about his business, and that's just kind of how he is. But it wasn't anything where we felt like we can't work with the kid because he keeps quiet. He's professional. He's mature. He goes about his business the right way. If he needs to ask questions, he'll ask questions. But for the most part, he just kind of goes about his business the way he does.
Been a little bit more open about, if he was here when he got here, where is he now? In terms
of he's just growing every single day. I don't know if I'd put a number on it, but I think you just see, and again, I think you kind of take it for granted that these guys move to a new city with new faces and a new building. They're trying to figure out everything. Where do I stay? How do I get to work? What do the coaches expect of me? Who are the coaches? All that type of stuff. So I think just naturally you spend more time around an environment, you're going to grow into that environment. And so I think that's just something you're seeing with him.
How much of a negative impact has it been just not having Evan Ingram on the field the last few weeks?
Yeah, obviously, I think one of the big parts is Evan's such a energy giver for our group. Just the way he plays, the energy he plays with, the energy on the sidelines in practice, that enthusiasm is a big thing. So I think we've, to an extent, missed that. Now we have other guys that step up into that role and do a good job. And then just Evan's production through his time here is something obviously you're going to miss. Now we're very happy with Brenton's progression, the way he stepped into that role, being able to use Luke a little bit more here and there. But anytime you're missing a great player, obviously it's going to impact you in some way, shape, or form.
Has that changed how you guys might attack the the middle of the field? It feels like there's a lot more outside. I mean, do you feel that way, that it seems like the middle of the field hasn't been attacked as much? Is that because of Evan, or is it just how the game has gone, or what's been going on?
A little bit of both. I mean, a little bit of the coverage structures you get and things like that, of how many people they put inside the numbers, the way you do certain things, what type of linebacker are you attacking, is play action affect them, does it not? There's certain things, and then obviously, yeah, Evan has the size and the capability to produce over the middle of the field, but no, I wouldn't say that that's held us back in any way, shape, or form, not having Evan.
How tough is the short yardage situations? You need 1 yard. I mean, is it frustrating when you're there, you need one, it's 4th and 1, you're on the goal line, whatever it may be, and you're trying to kind of dig in your bag of tricks to figure out what you can do to pick up that 1 yard?
Yeah. I mean, every situation is its own. So you're looking at a number of things, and that one, we decided to go to 11 personnel, spread them out, had a 5-man box, didn't work out for us. We want to go back to our process. How did that play get there? What did we expect? Did we rep it against certain looks? Did they play it a certain way? All those types of things. But that's different than, say, we're going to get in big people and we're going to line up and we're going to run this play, kill it to that play versus certain looks. So, each situation is its own. We'll handle each one its own way. And we're always just trying to do what's best for our personnel against their personnel in the situation.
What's the I guess the answer, I guess you would do it if you knew it, but for the red zone stuff, what's been the crux of that, really?
I mean, again, each one's kind of been a little bit different as we've gone. We had the 4th and 1 opportunity at Houston, which, again, we were happy with the way it presented itself, but we didn't, for a number of reasons, it didn't go the way we hoped it would go. At Cleveland, we had some communication issues that kind of set us back a little bit, put us in a little bit of a frenzy. We scored a touchdown, have a penalty get called back. So there's, again, each situation is its own thing. We don't just throw a blanket over it and say, this is why. We look at each one individually. This is why this didn't work. This is why that didn't work. Whatever it may be. This is why it did work. Or then we go back to our process. Are we showing them the right thing? Are we the reason for that being on the call sheet? Sometimes it comes down to, we're in this personnel, they're going to play that personnel. Percentages tell us they're in this coverage, that defense. There's a lot that goes into it. That's why we spend all this time during the week of doing that. And then we try to prep our guys of, here's the expectations, here's also the outliers we need to cover and be prepared for as well.
What's a Gus Bradley defense?
I think very disciplined. I think I wouldn't use the term simple, because it's not simple, but they know what they do really, really well. They know what you're trying to do to attack them really, really well. They spend a lot of time emphasizing those route concepts, those runs, whatever that may be, of how you attack them, because they've seen it. They've run this defense to its core has been run since Seattle, Legion of Boom, all that type of stuff. It's been through this building, obviously. So guys know it really well. They know their issues very well. They fly around sideline to sideline. They're very disciplined in their gap assignments. And then they've got the D lineman to make it go. And Grover Stewart has made as much of an impact as any defensive tackle in the last 2 years, probably just getting off the ball and damaging some things. And then it's made, I think Zaire's been top 5 in tackles in the last 2 years. I mean, a lot of that comes from the way the D-line gets off the ball and the way they understand their fits and how they're making plays.
When you play against a defense like that, that's so disciplined, they know how you want to kind of attack them because of their weaknesses. How difficult is it or how much pressure does it put on guys to do the job just the right way to make sure?
I think a lot of it's your quarterback just executing the simple, routine, boring plays over and over and just being productive. And this is what it takes to find completions, to move the ball forward, to stay ahead of the chains. And that's something we feel like we've done well through the course of it. But it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to, all right, we haven't tried to throw the ball. We haven't tested them deep. We need to take a shot, all that. And sometimes it's just keep throwing 6-yard completions, keep protecting the ball, keep drop stepping, knifing for extra yards over and over and over and over and see where the course of the game takes us.
Thanks, President.
Yep.
Thanks,
Thanks, guys.
Two quarterbacks that are like on separate sides of the spectrum.
Yeah, it's a challenge. It's both really good players, and both present a different challenge. You got a guy who's played a ton of football over his career and won a lot of football games, and you got another guy who's starting out who's a phenomenal athlete and can throw the ball a mile. So it's a good test, and so we've got to be sound and have a couple of different calls for both guys up and be able to execute those calls. And if we see both, with possibility too that we're preparing for, that they both may play, so we'll have to adjust the game plan accordingly.
When you went back and looked at the tape, just how well did Ventrell play, and how much did that get you excited knowing that was his first start, his first really extended reps?
It was good. He made a lot of plays. He was all over the place, inside the box, outside the box, and pass game. A couple of disruption passes, a lot of tackles. Like he's a good tackler, and when he sees the ball and he can get there quickly. He made the play on that stretch play in the third quarter. It was like shot out of a cannon. It was awesome to see. So we'll just continue to build on that and build this week and hey, just take one more step forward and continue to do that, and let's punch the ball out when we get there.
What kind of confidence is going to give a young player?
Good. A lot, right? I mean, you see a guy do things, but again, like he's been playing this. That's not his first game. Like he started back in Miami and playing. So we knew that through the process of putting them out there and having confidence in them. Matt's done a great job with them. I mean, those two guys work really good together, and you see him go out. He's made some plays before, so it wasn't even we didn't even bat an eye. Knew he was going to go out and play well.
How about Buster?
Yeah, he's playing pretty good, isn't he? Pretty good. His confidence is through the roof, and he plays. Here's a guy you love the player. What he puts on tape is exactly what Chris and Corey are coaching him. Like, play press, use your hands, step kick, challenge. It's everything that you watch him, and he's a good tackler. He's making plays. He made the second play of the game in the box, on the tackle, and it was it's really good to see. You see him all over the place, and you're excited that the guy's out there playing football for us, and just the progression of game 1 to game 2 to game 3, and he went in there, in the first game when he had to and had success and continue to play like that. And so, and he's playing all of the coverages really well. He's playing zone, he's playing press, man, everything. He's doing a really good job. So just got to keep it going.
You mentioned punch it out when talking about Ventrell. Turnovers, I know it's always the theme.
Yeah.
More the theme, how do you approach it without getting like that?
Sure, that's it. It is. It's something we have to start doing it. We have to. I mean, we're talking about it. We're coaching and we're practicing it. Our players are talking about it. Those type of things, and there's a fine balance of not pressing too hard. But staying positive with it, and stay in the course. Like that's the thing. We need to stay positive, stay the course. Continue to build this the right way. Year 1. This is our coming up on our 4th game together, and just build the foundation and stay positive and stay the course with what we're doing. Again, and once one happens, and then it leads to 2, and sometimes they just come in bunches. And so it's not how you start, it's how you finish, and that's what the important thing is. So, but we're staying positive with it, and we're working on getting one this week.
You've seen some good things from the guys who have had to come in for the injured players, but just how difficult has it been not having Savage, Campbell, Foye, Devin last week, maybe Hines Allen this week? I mean, how challenging is that for you guys?
You never want to lose a player, on your team. You want everybody to play, but it's the business that we're in. It's the game, and those things happen, and so we prepare for that, way back from OTAs, and next man up mentality. It doesn't make it any easier. It does present a challenge, but we coach all those guys. There's no depth chart, next man up mentality, same fundamentals, same technique. We don't change the calls or anything like that. We just go out and play ball. We want all those guys to be out there. Hopefully, we'll get a few back this week and get them back in the fold of the plan and getting going to play. But, we're just staying the course and one day at a time and next man up.
Smith played week 1, down week 2. What have you seen from him since then?
Yeah, a positive attitude, work, practices a lot better. He's been playing better. He's a rookie. It's that, first game, second game, third game. Continue to keep him going. Yeah.
We might have asked you this before, but the no depth chart and how you guys ran OTAs with the starters and the backups being mixed in, was that something that you took from something else, in the past, or was that something new that you implemented here? And just obviously it's had some interesting returns for you guys so far.
Sure, it's just part of the game. Again, injuries happen, right? And so sometimes if you put something up and could be an undrafted free agent or a guy that is a late round pick, and all of a sudden he sees his name on fourth underneath and he's buried, and it could create a negative image, mindset type thing. And so we simply say to our guys, our staff done a great job of, hey, here's your reps. It's what you do with those reps that matter. We don't know when you're going to get in there. You could be on the field first, second, or third in the team period, but we evaluate what you do. It doesn't matter who it's against. It's just what that player does so he can take advantage of those reps. So if something like this happens, and same thing in the games, they have to earn, the right to play. They have to show, hey, they're doing the right things. You look at Chad and Ventrell. They played 10 snaps in Miami, and now here they are. They're starting. And so you prepare for that. You never know when it's going to come, and it might not come, but you just stay the course. And we're doing the same thing in practice today. Hey, here's your reps. These are the guys are going to go out and play, and let's do the make the most of it when we have our reps.
Have you gotten enough from Eric Armstead?
Well, yeah. I mean, some of the things with Eric is that you don't the behind the scenes, the leadership, things like that. We all want to play better. I've got to coach better. But what he's doing for our team, again, is the foundation, the culture and the things like that. I mean, he's a huge part of that. And so, and then also when he comes, he's playing some end. And he hasn't played end in a while, so he's grown, back into that role. And so, we're going to stay positive, stay the course. Yes, everybody, every player, every coach, we all got to do more to get this thing going in the right direction. I mean, and it's going right. It's just getting us over the hump. Like that's, we've been in 3 of these games. We just got to get one. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Scott.